the story that's out there right now from our friend Jeff Howe of The Athletic, he's wasn't he with in Boston? He covered the Patriots for a long time.
He was,
right?
yeah. He's a national columnist now, I think.
Right now for The Athletic.
Yeah.
Said that the Baker Mayfield situation is that the Browns, Panthers, and Seahawks are all in what's called a quote-unquote a holding pattern. The Panthers and Seahawks have shown interest in acquiring Mayfield, says Jeff, but the Browns haven't been willing to absorb enough of his fully guaranteed $18.858 million salary. Ooh. There had been some progress in the negotiations between the Browns and the Panthers before Carolina picked up Matt Corral. Neither team has ruled out acquiring Mayfield, according to Jeff. Unclear how far apart the sides have been, but the Browns want their contractual intake to be commensurate with the asset they receive in return. They don't have much leverage, as they point out. However, the Browns could here it comes. Here it comes. It's coming. It comes in every report about Baker Mayfield. Well, maybe they're holding on to him just in case Deshaun Watson gets suspended. The Browns, meanwhile, could theoretically keep Mayfield through 2022 if a trade doesn't materialize. If they do release him, absorbing the full $18 million, they have to believe the Panthers or Seahawks have to pay him more than $1 million, which is part of their leverage play if they release him. Okay. The Browns are also daring the Seahawks, according to Jeff, and Panthers to roll with their current quarterbacks. And he points out this, too, which is interesting because we don't really talk about it. Mayfield's rehabbing his left shoulder. So he can't practice right now, and thus everybody remains stuck in a holding pattern. So if the Browns are waiting for the other two teams to panic and say, we don't like our guys, we got to go get Mayfield, and if the other guys are waiting to see if the Browns are going to release Mayfield, it's like that Spider-Man meme where they're both pointing at each other,
Yeah.
right? Isn't that what that's what it's kind of like right now?
Yeah.
And if the Browns part of their gambit, which I said I think is a waste of their time, that they're going to turn to Mayfield and they have to hold on to him to learn the fate of Deshaun Watson until they learn that fate. Like, what is the answer of the commissioner's or the league's suspension of Watson? And we had Mike Flory on earlier this week to talk about the NFL and Watson getting together for the first time and how depositions that are being taken in the civil lawsuits, that snippets are becoming public about Watson's under oath testimony about what happened in these massage rooms, and vice versa from the point of view of the masseuse, and how these come out and affect the course of whatever suspension that could be coming, and certainly the public discourse of this whole matter. That Mayfield's going to be waiting a long time, it appears, to find this out, because the league hasn't acted yet. And part of the reason why the league hasn't acted yet is, you could see, they haven't done their whole full investigation. And then these things come out in dribs and drabs. Well, the dribs and the drabs are coming out apparently next Tuesday in one big Real Sports feature. Soledad O'Brien sitting down, according to HBO, with multiple accusers of Deshaun Watson. Look out. That's coming to a home box office sit down near you.
Bored.
So, and that's why the league can't act. I guess they can act and leave the window open that we could add more games if we see fit. I don't know. Mayfield is in the middle of this whole thing. This holding pattern, it sure looks like it's going to go to July. Because if the Browns are waiting for the Panthers to go, we can't go in with just corral behind Darnold, or Darnold may not be the guy. We like Baker. We want that competition. We got to get Mayfield in here. What's going to spur that on? An organized team activity practice? A Zoom team meeting in the meantime? Like, that's going to bring it on? Shane Waldron, the OC up in Seattle, the, I guess, last individual to be that barrier between Russ and cooking. He's the OC, still in Seattle, saying Geno's got the leg up on Drew Lock. And every time you hear that, anybody who's from New York City is like, get out of here.
Right. Like, really?
But quarterbacks can improve, and we do say all the time in media and on this show, and we've heard people come and say Geno played pretty well, but that's always higher register. Geno played pretty well.
Very higher register last.
Came in that game in which Russ got his finger hurt, and didn't win. And then how many games did Geno win last year? How many?
One. Beat Jacksonville.
So the Seattle Seahawks are really going to go into this season with Geno as quarterback and Drew Lock is losing a battle with Geno Smith. Like, really? Is that really happening? Yeah, that's what's really happening.
5 touchdowns,
and
one interception.
And I think you should take them at their word. But if they are hedging their bet, at what point will they cut bait? An OTA in which both Lock and Geno had the ball hit the ground too much for Pete's liking? No, this stuff's going to training camp, folks. This stuff's going to July. And then Mayfield, wherever he goes, is going to be like learning the offense and behind the 8 ball. But what is he going to do? Sit back and say something? He can't. And that was another thing that I when I said the GTFOH, right? Mm-hmm. That's what he will say to the Browns when they come to him and say, "Hey, man, we need you.
To the Browns.
We need you. We need you. Deshaun's not here for the first half of the season.
Yeah.
We gotta have you."
There's some sand. Pound it.
That's what I think he should say. He should say because, the answer is, he's got to start. It's his best way to show that he can still play. Well, his best way to show that he could still play last year was him playing hurt, and everybody said he shouldn't have done that.
Right.
So he's going to actually do that for a team that's going to tell him the curtain closes on his season 8 weeks in, and that 8-week period, that's going to be your calling card for your next job? Or do you just sit back and let everybody wonder who you are, like he's doing right now?
I feel bad for him, man.
Especially since part of this, you want to talk about what's not in his control, is waiting for the hammer to be brought down on Deshaun Watson. We're off next Wednesday because we're going to be coming home from the sports Emmys, hopefully with a trophy in the overhead bin.
Two.
Well, one's for me.
Yeah. You're
for
be
my
individual
one.
Make that 3.
Okay.
We'll go 3.
Oh, goodness, Mike.
But that's not the Rich Eisen Show. I'm just saying for us here, Mike, not to.
Congrats on your MLB Fox win.
And by the way, Rich,
I hope you get it, Mike.
You winning the one, I will take a great deal of joy in you winning because I feel like we all help you.
If we were on the air next Wednesday, I guarantee you that's going to be our lead story Thursday. Barring something crazy that happens in the NBA, I'm assuming. Yeah. I mean, as you know, Soledad O'Brien does not
play
schools. Yeah.
Around.
Yeah. That's going to be some.
So I don't know.
Yeah, this is going to be.
And again, like I said, even if it's just like, okay, Deshaun, you're out for the first half of the season, he's just going to accept that. He won't appeal it. All right, now you're out for the 6 games this season. Hey, Baker, we need you for 6. You got a 6? And what is Jacoby Brissett supposed to think about that, right?
I know, just like
hey, Jacoby's. He's like, I have actually won quite a bit of football games in this league. Yeah, I can get you 4 out of 6.
I'm sure he knows his position.
I can get you 3 out of 6. I can get you 5 out of 6. I believe I can get you 6 out of 6. Run the ball and play some defense, maybe in a way that you didn't for Baker consistently last year. I mean, that's what's up right now.
That's what's up.
Holding pattern, none of it he can control. But he is being quiet. And when I said the GTFOH, I think that's what he should say if they come to him at some point and say, we need you to start. He'll be like, release me. Let me go somewhere else. I'm not putting my body on the line for you again. Look what happened to me the last time I did that. And I'm not saying he should say that right now. I got a lot of that, like saying, hey, Baker's doing the right thing by staying quiet. He is. I mean, what else can he say? He said his piece on on the podcast, him saying that he was disrespected didn't go over well because, if you believe Deshaun Watson is a viable player and a viable citizen and it isn't going to get, jail time, which at the time, we had just learned he wasn't going to face that in Houston, and you feel like that's a guy you can go get, we would consider that an upgrade at the position over most quarterbacks in the NFL. What's the disrespect? Certainly if they told him at the combine they were going to go down that road. So that didn't suit him very well. I'm just saying the GTFOH is, if they come to him and say, hey, man, Deshaun's out for a lot of games, we need you. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.